Man, he won Infinity War. The Chiefs, they won the Super Bowl. How did the Chiefs tie it in the fourth quarter? Special teams. They scored a touchdown to tie the game, but it remained a one possession game. Why? Because the Kansas City Chiefs special team stopped the field goal. What we got coming up is the NFL. This is on the 8th of October. The NFL is coming up in like maybe a few days. That gentleman still doesn't get his recognition. I'm gonna tell you right now, Ant-Man's gonna get my recognition. How did they go back? This whole argument of all this stuff is going on with Thanos and Avengers and all this stuff. We can literally fit, if Ant-Man is able, his time travel is kind of complex with the TVA, if you get what I'm talking about, because the TVA has to monitor his stuff. But at one point, what if he's like so small that they can't even? So that's what I'm trying to say, because nobody really included the TVA in the Infinity War. But he was like the managing TVA. The thing is, he's a kind gentleman. And if y'all remember the last episode of this ideas, Ant-Man was at Alice's party with this dude, at Alice's thing. And that's why I wasn't home last night, or yesterday. Because I'm still trying to figure out what's going on, because we're having a tea party. So I have a solution of this situation, because I never do this without being online. All this stuff has been directly put online without brainstorming or blueprinting before. So to prove that, in a way, first, I'll tell you what I got on my idea while not streaming. Last time we were streaming with the Ant-Man, and I said, who's going to sit at the table at Alice's and everything like that? I already told everybody what was going on. I had an idea. I woke up today, and I saw the Flash. He was hungry, again, in my dream. So, in my dream, I saw the Flash hungry. And he was basically going to, it was basically the same gas station. He was at the same gas station that is showed in the one that's going on. And in that gas station, he's getting like an orange juice, and he's having to go through all this stuff. I'm gonna tell you right now, with Willy Wonka and Ant-Man, they team up or they have a situation. Ant-Man can shrink food from Wonka's factory if the permission is from Wonka to do it. You know what I'm talking about? So he has the pin particle thing, like they had the Zapatron in the beginning of Fortnite. So he just Zapatron some of Wonka's candy for his fellow compadre, the Flash, who's hungry because he needs calories. So with a situation like that, the Flash may need a utility, but the thing is, it's cheating, but it's not cheating, because the pin particle, he can just shrink a safe and put it on the belt of the Flash. It's ridiculous, but so he can basically shrink buffets and stuff like that, and all this for the Flash, bro. So the Flash ain't going to be hungry no more. So he's going to, the beginning question on the Flash that just came out, which I enjoyed, is he's not going to be needing to eat while saving, because he could just eat candy. He could eat whatever in the universe has been made. With the pin particle, if we get Marvel's Ant-Man cross-reference with DC's The Flash, I like both actors that played The Flash. Grant Gustin has been, the thing is with Grant Gustin, it's just like, bro, he's been working his tail off for so long. And now we have a situation where he's going to get repaid with, on camera, eating some sweets, some good stuff. So, and that's if we get the TV Grant Gustin to go on cinematic. Ezra Miller, he's got a situation going on where the time and all those universes are going through. So we can even use him for a separate Flash. It's still Barry Allen. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not going to say it because he's not like that, because he trained his other, in that one, he trained the Flash. At his, when he went back in the universes to save his dad in that one, he goes into a universe where the Flash never gets his powers. that Flash kind of loses his mind. So there's like the Savitar idea with that one, with his, because he loses his mind and he's the one that saves it. But if he has to do something, what came first is the TV series. So the Grant Gustin goes on there, but if you look at the actors of Ant-Man and Grant Gustin, bro, they're so innocent, bro. So they're a good duo. They would be very good for like running stuff because Ant-Man in the movies, remember, he's a father. That's the reason why he went back in time. He's like, where's my kids? So he goes back in time for his kids. So he's a good actor. He's a good actor in the sense of being able to portray a father in movies with all this commotion going on, bro. And the Flash is also able to withstand a whole relationship for a long time. And also, there's that little special cross reference of the do because Cisco used to be the manager of the Flash in Grant Gustin's the Flash on CW. So basically, they cross over, and I could just imagine a scenario where it's Grant Gustin. He's in another universe because we're talking about mixing universes, and he's doing the same thing as Ezra Miller's Flash when he's about to when Batman is checking out the Flash's files, bro. But he's getting an orange juice, and somebody's trying to rob the gas station where he's getting an orange juice, and Ant-Man walks in the middle of this, and Ant-Man goes on to take on this guy, and while the Flash, the superhero Flash, is right there. So, but the thing is, the guy starts doing like he's like the Ant-Man basically tries to tell the guy at the front counter when he walks in because he's about to pay for cash the gas. So he's still living his life like that after winning Infinity War. But that's okay because he has a kid and he's doing what he can to have it grow up in society. And that's great. I understand that. But somebody's robbing the place. He's robbing the gas station. But this guy has an Uzi. He has like an SMG, bro. And he turns and starts spraying at Ant-Man. Ant-Man instantly becomes small and starts jumping on the bullets, dude. He's jumping on the bullets, and he finally gets to each, and he catches up to the guy at the front counter, and like, as a small man, knocks him out. He's not dead. He's knocked out. But the Flash has now witnessed somebody go through time. He's witnessed this guy just go, dude, and he's like, and then they're both so innocent, and they're not supposed to be leaking what they're doing. But the thing is, it's hard to explain. In the process of going like this, a gentleman walks through the door, and you hear the ding, and the Flash has to put on his outfit and go and save Ant-Man. But the whole thing is that guy was a big fellow that comes in, and he knocks over everything in the gas station, causing a huge mess, bro. And all these people. So basically, at this point, the Flash and Ant-Man from Marvel and DC's Flash, they know each other's identity. So, but they're so kind. And the Ant-Man goes back to his regular outfit. He's wearing a business management audition outfit, bro. He's wearing the 90s button-ups that were a little size too big. He's wearing that with the blue dark like slacks. Like he's ready to go to work. And the thing is, it's a little too big. But the thing is, the Flash is just not wearing his outfit, and Samuel L. Jackson walks in, and he's like, "What is going on in this gas station?" And they're both looking at him, and they're not supposed to spill the identities yet. They don't know how it works with his man. So they're just like, we're just here I'm getting gas, he's getting orange juice, and what's the problem here, sir? This guy is like a very tyrannical level manager, but because he has to deal with all the Hulk and everybody. So he's like, who's going to pay for all? And it's just like, oh. And then all of a sudden, the door opens again. It's Ant-Man's daughter. And everybody has to be quiet, even Samuel L. Jackson, because she's wondering what's taking for her father so long. So, and she explains it and gets everything, and we get that covered. She goes back to the house, to the car, where the wife and kids are. And then it's all like humbleizing for all three of them, even the guy in the back gas station, because that's doing the cash register stuff. And it's just a mess, because when the door closes after she's going to the car, with like super elevated vans and stuff, when you look back into the room of the gas station, dude, it is a mess. Samuel L. Jackson has like teleported in there, but he's standing on a knocked down shelf. It's just that much. I mean, there is jam, there is stuff all over the floors, bro. Because that guy's been that guy's cousin that walked in to try to help the scenario. He rolled over like that big blueberry in Wonka and rolled over all the stuff, bro. And it's just like a huge mess. But that's what I'm saying. And then the Flash was like, I was just getting orange juice, and he actually is like, and now I'm really hungry, about to eat, but there's nothing here. And then Ant-Man's like, I got something for you. And he zapped something from the front counter that didn't fall, and he the whole wholesale amount of it. It's like granola bars, and he zaps it into a small one so he can just take it and eat it. He's like, dude, that is like one of the greatest meals I've ever had. He's like, he cleans up the room. He cleans up all the room and all this stuff real quick, and Samuel L. Jackson's just sitting there like, this is amazing. I ain't got to clean up no mess. Ever. Flash, welcome to the... He literally just said, welcome to the team. He's like, what team, bro? You got to go through Batman, Superman, and everybody. It's like, we cannot... You just cleaned up the gas station. I mean, this is a huge mess if you really get the situation, dude. We're not jumping realities, not leave this mess here and have somebody else clean it. You just cleaned it in this reality. And he's all like, well, we're going to have to talk about... And it just gets all inclusive. We're talking about DC and Marvel at this point. And then the thing is, we've already included what was going on. And now we have the fact that Wonka and Alice and all that, we can basically, which is a Nickelodeon show, all that, is the orange sodas. And all that candy and stuff like that can be put with the Flash. So when we were talking about it on What If, about what if the Flash teamed up with Ant-Man, we didn't do that. We're doing it now. And now y'all know that there's no script, bro. So I'm just telling you. But when we go back and start talking about it, like, and y'all realize that, remember I was saying the Flash was running around with Spider-Man, and they were like Spider-Man was making candy webs and all like that. Now we have the reason why. Because Ant-Man got the pin particle. He can literally go to Wonka's factory, and Wonka is the one that basically drafts him, dude. Because this is beyond... Think about it. What is famous Wonka's candy right now? It's the nerds. It's crazy because it's nerds because... I mean, you got the chocolate, but what is still actively so vibrant into the world? It's the mini nerds. It's the nerds. So the nerds in this, with the Flash, are full buffets, bro, of different styles of meal. I can't really give you the whole recipe, but it goes with Willy Wonka, bro. The Flash going with Willy Wonka, the spider webs, it literally goes into this, what we're talking about this entire time. So anybody want to take my stuff? I mean, listen, bro, we're just getting started because I still have to make the chug jug. And y'all think that I'm that amazing race that we were doing, that I'm trying to get away with the chug jug recipe and stuff like that? Y'all, we're having a sit-down tea party? Well. We're going to have to get situated here and figure out what happened with the Jolly Ranchers. Because the Jolly Ranchers go hard. And it's like, well, what happens if you put nerds rope around the Jolly Rancher? And it's like, well, what happens if Articuno starts spilling waterfalls of candy? And that's how we get back to the Antarctica. Antarctica with Ant-Man. And Ant-Man makes it to Antarctica where all those people are literally trying to get conclusions. There's somebody writing an Articuno that's spilling candy out. No paint. Remember, he's artistically painting. And it's like, well, remember Articuno went into that place in his head? He's like laying down for a moment. He had like a second thought of where he was going. Guess what? He's back. Articuno's back, and he wakes up and he's like, and he goes, it's now candy. It's not just paint. And people are like, what's happening here? The knight from Game of Thrones is like, this ain't my, I'm not going to be able to take that one. He's literally like running away now. He's like deep. He's like, all these skeletons are running back. They're all, remember from Game of Thrones, the Night King? Now instead of going forward, like that guy didn't even care. He's going back. He's like, this is beyond. This is not what I was doing. This is like candy and flourishing life. He's running backwards, and we don't care because that guy was me. So, but we care because HBO is now into the game. But we can't, dude. Those people were. We got Articuno painting with candy, and that guy is not going to take this. This is not Drogon. This is Articuno, and I'm not hating on Drogon. because one of them was able to change from fire to ice. So I'm just saying. So we have the bird flying. He's flying, and he's got all these, bro. We have all these things, and he's got life candy, like not life candy. He's got candy colors coming out of his mouth, and everybody's out here. They're trying to conflicting ideas about how they're trying to survive in a snow blizzard. Somebody says blizzard. Articuno thinks blizzard. He's having McFlurries coming out of his mouth in blizzards. So people are like, dude, it's like at one point to somebody state the obvious. Articuno got food. We don't need to keep flying around like this is nothing, dude. He's painting in all Antarctica. There's not even somebody freezing. So we got to remember in the situation, because we can't jump in from Fortnite and we're going in Fortnite into where they're inside the 0 point, and then they jump into the teleportated place, and it's like we got all the skins on there. Y'all got to remember what happened right before that too, and or kind of in that sense. So basically, everybody that was out there in Antarctica, you're not forgotten, dude. I got Ant-Man that's out there with the Flash, and they're about to come through in another universe, because you have that Flash running with Spider-Man, and they're going to cross paths with Ezra Miller in the Antarctica. And basically, it gets really, really situationally clear here that we need to get all this and put it to like a moment and get a Gatorade. The thing is, I had the keys to the Gatorade. I got the Chug Jug. But the thing is, I don't have it all the way, because Wonka has it. And all the rights and stuff, it's like going like this, and it's like, well, we go back to the movie of Wonka. And what happens with Charlie at the very end? He loses, but he wins. He wins at the very end. But the first initial response is he had greed. He had greed, and so he's like, you lose. So, but at the same time, what does Charlie do? He gives him the candy back. And he's like, and Wonka changes his mind right away and gives him, they go in the elevator. And on that elevator, it's not just a going up and down elevator. It's a sideways elevator and all these elevators. So remember when we're going back and it's a summer skirmish, and you got Omega skin, it's released, it's a created skin. It's released and nobody's talking about this, bro. So we go back into where people are taking the pop rocks and it's getting competitive. Bro, those guys that are flying, they're not Daffy Duck. Those guys accidentally had the wrong pop rocks in the game. So the people are playing competitive, and they're flying, bro. People are laughing while playing for 100,000. So y'all gotta remember, the movie Up was out. The movie called Up is about a grandfather with a kid and their kid, remember? And they go into the digital world, and they have houses and stuff like that that are floating up and down. So now what we get situated here is that they come through. They're so innocent. They come through from Pixar. And now there's like people flying, but they catch a few people on one of their houses. And it's like a few duos at a time. And they're doing like sitcoms because they're stuck in the air. So they're like basically Up is having a house up there. And one of the guys is like, oh man, this is just like a Fortnite house. I'm just going to loot it. Nope. This is Up on Pixar. So, and we're not going to let y'all just go in here and barge in like that. So they're having like sitcom events in the Up houses. So if you want to get like critical about like, is this being like scripted or whatever, no. So now you're having duos landing here trying to find out where each other are, but they're having to base upon that they're not going to be doing this in front of a kid on Pixar. So they're having to like become real descriptive characters in the skins of Fortnite Epic. They're having to have like they're really coming out like the description of while in this house is on Up, and they're floating up and all this stuff, and it's just like they're getting caught because the competitive players are wearing some sweaty skins. Now the sweaty skins have to like be there. Here's your cup of coffee with the flour on it, and it's like, well, you have to take this in for a few minutes here, guys, and talk and be how y'all are, and that's where you get like the styles of these skins and the descriptions of them. So, and because Up is and been mixed with Pixar and all this stuff, dude. And remember, Mufasa is the movie coming out. Mufasa is up there, but the thing is, Mufasa has a view of under the tape, under the what was it called? The material. Remember, the material It's everybody. It's 50. It's become almost like 75, 25, 50, 50 or so. We don't know the numbers, but that's you can't edit somebody else's thing. Remember? So there's the clouds and the sun. They're not in this place, and up has this like a fireplace and chimney and stuff going down, and they have lighting. So everybody's trying to get into the house and up because they got light in there. They got light that's like floating in their house under the thing. So they're in there, and everybody's trying to get in, but it's two at a time. It's two at a time, so people are trying to get in two at a time, and then they don't know what's going on in there. They don't know that people are having to act and be like, well, uh, a refresh, a cup of coffee or a hot cocoa with the flour on it. They don't know that. So everybody's trying to get in there, but because they're flying. So, and then on the other thing, there's this thing that we're having to like finally discuss. Can we get the architect from the architect cup who brought that idea so we can edit these floors so we can get them out? The thing is, the molecular policeman makes an addition again, and somebody doesn't realize that they poked a hole on this thing. If y'all go make something, don't come back and deconstruct it, right? That's all I'm trying to tell you. So now we're having a situation where I'm having to jump through these things and people are coming out the holes because there's geysers. There's these pop rocks things that are not geysers, dude. They're sitting in straight into these things and they're coming out of the thing. And we're all like, what is this? And the thing is, everybody has become kind of like a community out there when they were trying to fit the dusty divot because they're trapped in there. They're like, what? How can we get out of this trap like situation? And it's just getting situated like in a place where I have to be like, well, hold on, man, that's Mufasa. Mufasa's in Lion King that's coming out with Disney in Fortnite, and he's explaining how this has happened, but it's gotten so bad that we start to realize the level of Mufasa, if you understand what I'm talking about. Mufasa's having to sit here and literally understand inside this game, he's able to consistently keep that style of himself in front of everybody. So we're looking at the clouds are changing and stuff like that, giving us signs and stuff like that. Little do we know, on this sunny side of the place, we got animals. And we got all these things. And then remember, there's people out there looking in houses because the mech fell. And they're coming out the game, and they're trying to go into the game, and because the mech fell down, and inside the mech, it was like the Power Rangers. And there's people out there trying to get outfits on. Little do y'all know, the Valentine's Day outfits have yet to make it. So the Valentine's Day come in and all these things, bro. So there's people wearing skins that we may not know, but we know that they're females. They're wearing the skins. And the default skins are always on the right side. So the default skins have been on the sunny side. They've been out here. So, but they're so innocent. So the thing is, we have figured out the situation here, but how are we going to get into the dusty divot that has been constructed with a temporary Band-Aid? It's been covered with a Band-Aid, dude. So, but it's not all the way because there's ways to go out on the sides, and people are still flying because the pop rocks. The chug jug recipe or the finished chug jug is in the middle. So we can't just forget and disintegrate anything on there. So we're gonna have to find a way to get there as a whole server, bro. But there's no teaming. So y'all gotta realize that Mufasa is in the clouds, and if he sees anybody cheating, he's going to be able to point it out, because after all this ruckus and commotion, he was able to describe this whole situation to everybody, and he still maintained his family side. He still did it. He still does. So if anybody's out there and you have somebody cheating and your referee skin pulls up on you, don't matter if it is a full server or not, y'all realize y'all can't be lying. So, because that's the Lion King. So, whatever. That's all I'm trying to say. So now we have that in the Fortnite skin. But y'all have to remember that the storm, y'all have to be considerate about what's going on in the storm. Because the storm the lobby is like 3 hours long. Y'all been in the lobby doing this stuff for more than 3 hours, and y'all wondering how the storm is doing. Like, do y'all not remember what was happening outside the courthouse near Weeping Woods? They're not weeping from sadness, dude. They're weeping from laughing so hard. Because what they did is that outside, remember, we had the Guardians of the Galaxy, bro. We have all of them. We have Star. We have Peter Quill. You know what I'm talking about? We have his father is there, Ego, and then also, uh, if it was okay in The Chosen, which is out, we have Jonathan. He's out there. He's portraying Jesus Christ. Y'all keep wondering, and I keep having to do this to you guys. Y'all keep wondering why that storm is not getting to all these people. There's somebody that can withhold the storm and let y'all do what y'all want in the server. So as long as we're not doing anything wrong, but we don't have anything in our minds to do wrong. So we have a whole area.
Could you lower your voice a little bit, please?
What's it?
Lower your voice a little.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can talk, but not too loud. Lower it, it's fine.
So basically, we have a situation where we, like, what came first, the chicken or the egg, or the wild goose chase? And remember, the wild goose chase is the goose don't have. It's like when I can't believe it's not butter. Pull up, try to find a boneless chicken. I believe it's not butter. Will not find, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to tell you the trippiness of it, but the boneless chicken is like, it's the wild goose chase, because there's no boneless chicken, dude. So, and what came first, the chicken and whatever. All right, so considering all these things, we have the storm that is being protected in a sense of stuff. We don't know it yet. It's stating the obvious, but we don't know it. We see, but some people may know it. So we're thankful, and you have Groot out there protecting what could be a leprechaun. Remember? And Groot's out there protecting a leprechaun from this whole madness that's going on inside of a protected area that's inside of a protected area. So it's all protected. So in a way, the hero skins and all these DC and Marvel and everything, at one point we have to realize that we're in a protected server, and it's beyond amazing. It is flourishing in all these things. The storm has now, in some places, the storm isn't really causing damage. It's flourishing. It's flourishing in a place. And we're starting to see like Slurpee style fruits and flowers coming out because of colors. Doesn't mean that it is the purple, but I'm saying that it's, it could be that style. So Frenzy Farms, there's a thing called Flourishing Flowers, and there's a beautiful place there and stuff like that. So we have to consider everything. But the thing is, there's a huge event going on in the center of the map as well. But the thing is, we have to understand that there's somebody on the good side holding it down for us while we're running rampant on the map. And the thing is, I'm thankful to have been able to explore the map, and there's people going in the up houses, and they're doing sitcoms. And the thing is, one time somebody asked about the sitcom, what's going on, when they had just left the sitcom. And I'm just trying to tell you guys, if anyone thought this was scripted, come on, bro. How much time is this? We did this for like 40 hours, 30 hours. It's been 30 minutes, bro. Or an hour 30. So, a little bit here, we start talking about Ant-Man. The Flash. This is Marvel and DC. How we're going to get, the thing is, with Articuno in Antarctica making candy, and Spider-Man already has this ancient candy. Remember, he's got the ancient flavor. He's using it non-stop while the Flash is running, which is causing these like time ripples, which is really crazy because in a sense, yes, they come out fast in real time, but when the Flash is running and you're making webs, you're going to cause a slow reaction and a fast reaction at the same time. So that's where also in the other universe you have a match made as well, because Ant-Man is not running at the speed of light. He's just running at a micro level. So the Flash have the same situation. He's a little slower, but the Flash is running at very fast speed. So you have this connection in universes and stuff like that, that it's going to be able to connect all this stuff, and we're going to go all the way in there, and it gets very, very situational. After 50 hours of doing this, dude, we've had somebody like, just like, come in here and say so. But none of this, in the sense of stuff, and all this has not been scripted. the hacker and all that, nah. None of this has been scripted. So, and the thing is, to throw everybody off, there's a lot of background sound. I get it, whatever it is. The thing is, the background sound and all this stuff is to protect what I have done with you guys, bro. What I've done, because the thing is, if this was all quiet and stuff, how would y'all think that this was going on? Somebody's out, it's like paid promotion by Marvel and stuff like that. Guess what, bro? Now y'all know this is raw. This is all off the top of the head. It's like I'm freestyling. Hip hop song. If I was sitting in a booth, a studio, it would be, I don't think there would be background sound. I'm just telling you right now. So, me to do this, I'm just putting that out there. It's like, hey, we got to be considerate about what went on with If and Deadpool 3 with Marvel and paid promotion and all that, and realize how some of this got on there. Because, but at the same time, you don't gotta, I'm not here to, but I'm thankful for the success that they did, but goodness, bro, and I'm thankful that some of their stuff got onto the movie, because it's not about the money. It's like, dude, what we're doing here is able to get a lot of reactions and feedback from people out in the world that are able to produce this stuff, like Marvel and stuff like that. They're able to do it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So with the fact that they're able to do that, and some of our stuff has been showed up there on the big screen, from what I've heard, there's no, like I've been telling you guys, there's no money in the world for some of this. There isn't. You can't explain this without, in a sense of things. So it's not that I'm out there for the money, dude. The fact that our stuff is getting on to Marvel and Deadpool 3s, which is breaking historic records and stuff like that, I wouldn't trade it. And but if your situation is concerning about like my well-being and stuff like that, I think I look good. I'm fine, and no matter what, that was, dude, the adventure of a lifetime. The thing is, I'm considering, where are the tapes? Where are the July 22nd, by like July 27th? Where are those? Because I did this for all those days. Do you understand what I'm saying? Where could they have gone? Where are those? And who's moving my phone and stuff like that? Whoever has them, listen, man, be careful. Don't let nobody, it's not for sale. What I'm saying is not that it's like not to go on theaters and be portrayed. I'm saying it's not for sale right now, dude. The only thing that we got to be considered is about the faculty and the staff and everybody that's working on this and stuff like that. So if I'm considered in that, okay, but be careful. Like, don't let, and this is what I want to say. If anybody's out there working, if this feels like work, it's not for you. I'm not saying you're bad. I'm saying that if you got to wake up and it's too strenuous, tell the director, and tell the director you're feeling strenuous. If the director has a weird reaction, or the producer, that's not his job. Because he's not liking something. Y'all always supposed to be happy and positive, bro. Like, if somebody's complaining and then that person like is like, oh, all right, man, my patience is getting taken. No, bro. It's got to be like, everybody involved has to be willing to wake up that day and do what they're doing. If not, you don't love what you're doing. So if I tell you if you love what you're doing, and you have to tell somebody one day that, hey, man, I love what I'm doing, but my shoulder, for some reason, because I was throwing a no-hitter the other day on stream, and you tell the director, and he's like, oh, you can't make, he has some sort of complaint or something, bro, I would just say, listen, man, the director got complaining problems. Because this man should be like, oh, really? Well, what can we do to help promote or facilitate and get this quicker? Because what I'm trying to say is that everybody, look, bro, if you love what you're doing, then do it. But if you don't like what you're doing, man, you don't have to be involved. No one's forcing you to do any of these things. If you're not having fun, if you don't mind going, look, this is what I'm trying to say. Even up to directing, producing, and acting, if it starts becoming like a sport and it's like the next day you're waking up and you're aching to want to go and do this, that's what I'm talking. Come on through. If you're looking to do this like a sport, in sense like, man, I can't wait to go out there and impress my girl or and stuff like that, and put my boots on and stuff, doing like that. That's how it is. So, paid by Marvel.